himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so Nuoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here, but I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order, but Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Oh, they're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here once more. We are back. Taken us about 4 months, but we are back here as well. It's the BSC Season 10, Round 1 from Daytona International Speedway for the Bash at the Beach here this evening. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth, as always, by Mr. Kenton Sportak, who will be alongside me once more as well. Peggles, let's go, he says in YouTube chat with Alicia. Oh my God, is that the well-renowned Supercars YouTuber Peggles? It is. You need his autograph there as well. Terry Spadehour Senior, of course. TJ, this is your season. Go and win this for Lydia. Get her a trophy for Valentine's. Love you both there as well. And Terry, I do agree. It has felt like 2 years since we last raced, but it's not been that long at all. And, well, I think we could bring Kenton in straight away here as well to have a chat with him. Kenton, we are back, baby.
Oh, it feels like it was forever ago since we last seen the BSC crew. So yeah, glad to be back finally.
Yeah, it's taken us a very long time to be here, but we are here, and let's bring you up to date with what has happened. Well, we are in the spring season here as well at Daytona International Speedway. We have got 75 laps, stage break at 30, and then you've got 3 sets of tires. It's Atlanta Motor Speedway next, Las Vegas, Pocono, Bristol, Circuit of the Americas, Victor Road Circuit, Richmond, Martinsville, Texas, Talladega, Dover, and Kansas Speedway. That will round out, of course, our spring season. Something rather interesting is happening this season, Kenton, with the way that they're doing the schedule.
Yeah, I'm quite excited. They kind of have it split up between sort of different stages of the actual race weekend itself, or the race schedule or season. There we go. The race season itself, kind of having a spring, summer, and autumn following along with the IRL NASCAR schedule as well, which will be a lot of fun. Add some variety while at the same time just having an absolute blast.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they will there as well. So excited to be back to watch. Hey, James and Kenton. Now I have to root for both my boys, says Billy Cooper here as well, as we have got TJ in to the chat. We've got Brad in here as well, have we? Brad in here? Yes.
For which?
We have Bradley Young. In
Mm-hmm.
the 89 car there as well. Kenton, how good was James's driving in the Winter Series? I did amazing. Thank you very much. Actually, I did drive in the Winter Series. Kenton did. The worst of both.
James had a AI car in the Winter Series that we threw in for a few races. Your AI was probably the dirtiest driver out there, actually. Did not listen to blue flags and full on would just like push you off the track. It was quite entertaining.
Oh, well, there you go.
You've been mad at yourself for sure.
Hey, like I've been doing this NASCAR quite a lot, but you did the Super Formulas, didn't you, for the Winter Series and that as well?
Yeah, we did the Gen 4 1 week, and then it would be the next week we would do the Super Formula. So it was a kind of an interesting combination of the two. But lots of fun, and exactly who you expect to be at the front was usually at the front, and Alex Witt there, he is bloody quick in both.
He definitely,
it's quite crazy to watch.
Yeah, he definitely is quick. Of course, last season's champion here as well. Lydia, go TJ and Brad. Oh, I like it. You got the Brad was the end there as well. But here they are. Times are going to be coming in thick and fast for qualifying with TJ from the Fast Angry Racing team there as well, or Fart, the full term. On the track in that 86 Busby Bees machine here as well, in the Toyota Camry, battling away here to try and see who can get pole. Then, of course, we have Bradley Young in the 89 machine here as well, out on track. I've got 2 Spain hours, and, well, maybe not a Spain hour, but I've got a Spain hour Young to cheer for this season. Kenton, what more could I ask for?
Yeah, you're going to have to see if they'll send you another beer cozy or soda cozy, if you will.
Yeah.
Different logos and all the fun stuff.
Oh, mate, that would be absolutely awesome, wouldn't it? Can you imagine that? Getting a double one with TJ and Brad on it. Mrs. Spadehour, where you at? Mick is Peggles, Super FR Peggles, Billy Cooper, woohoo, go Brad. And Peggles, you're my hero. Oh, there's a lot of love for Seth Pegg in chat this evening. This man
I
here.
can understand it a little bit, other than his choice in footy team to cheer for. Good dude.
What sort of footy team are we talking now, though, right? Because obviously...
Australian rules.
Ah.
Yeah. Aussie rules football. Him and I, we're both follow it. Myself a little less because I'm not in Australia to watch it. But yeah, I got my first jersey, or they call them Guernseys, but being sent over from Australia itself. Ordered myself one, and yeah, I'm excited for that to show up, and then I'll make sure to send all of the photos to Peggles.
A Guernsey.
Yeah, they call it a Guernsey. I don't know why.
What's a Guernsey?
It's basically their version. That's what they call a jersey. They call it a Guernsey over there.
Very strange, this Australian individual. Tell you that one as well. But thank you so much if you have joined us for the first time. Don't forget, guys, to like the stream as well and give it a thumbs up and subscribe and do all that other fancy jags here as well. We got Mr. Armour Brusso in YouTube chat. Go Bombers and Dockers.
AFL teams. Actually, funny story. With my planned move to Germany, we're looking at Hamburg now, and the team that they have in Hamburg, Germany, is called the Hamburg Dockers. So I will also be dealing with that.
Yes. That's going to be interesting for you as well here as well. As you can see at the moment, we got Jake Hall out in pole position. Alex Witt, of course, from the Breakfast Club sitting in 11th. Brandon McLaughlin, Rugby Roberts and Joshua Kuhn out on track. Radle's just on his way. He's on his way in, actually. We've got 35 cars here as well. 35 cars there once more. So, yeah, this is going to be a very interesting evening, I think. And we've got an over and under of how many cautions we think. You have said 8, I've said 6. I'm a little bit more optimistic.
Well, we're both very under what last year was, if I remember correctly. Even though actually I wasn't even here last year. I thought about that today. I was sick last year, but we had, I think it was about 12 or 15. Yeah, so we're both being very optimistic.
It's not going to be that long. Right, Jake Hall will be on pole position for Zachary Dewell on second. Nicholas Stockner on third with Andrew Williams on fourth. Derek Runge in fifth and Matthew Norberg sixth. Christian Strada in seventh with Zach Lewis in Dan Michael down in ninth. And Andrew Burrell in 10th. Alex Witt in 11th alongside Noel Jakowitz. Then you got Brandon McLaughlin, Justin Kuhn, Andrew Jamalin, Rodney Roberts, Devon Collicott, Trevor Kratzer, Cody Kern, Hunter Carlson, Rob Sizemore, Dylan Kritz, Joshua Kuhn, and Terry Murphy down in 24th there. We've got Bradley Young and 25th. He's ahead of speed TJ there as well with Andrew Onquist 26. TJ down in 27th. Didn't really show the pace he had in practice. Jordan Kemmel, Tom Kuhn in 28th and 29th, and Seth Pegg all the way down in 30th. Joshua B. Keefe Trent Yannick, Anthony Radel, Armand Brusso, and then Calvin Ross, the last here as well. That is what we are looking at, guys. The beautiful Daytona, the amazing Daytona, Kenton, and surely not, we're going to have 15 cautions again, are we?
I really hope not. It's a long track, and as funny as it is, it actually is a very long lapse. I mean, you're looking at almost 56 seconds per lap once you're in the draft and really moving. It's quite long laps. It doesn't look like it. It's only 2.5 miles, but in comparison to, when you're driving around Bristol or Dover where they're 15 seconds, it takes quite a while here. So hopefully it stays green for a good chunk of time, because then pit stop strategy will definitely come into play, and we'll get to chat all about how it's smart to not all pit at once, and have that conversation later in the race.
35 cars rushing down the pit lane here as well. Actually, we've only got 34. We've got no Calvin Ross currently at the moment, but I believe we're going to have our very own Armand Brusso out on track there as well, in that very recognisable green machine, alongside Anthony Radel there as well. Peggle's going to pull an SVG and go from 30th to 1st. Well, do you know what, right? That wouldn't surprise me in Daytona, in NASCAR, in any shape or form of the imagination, Kenton. I think that's one of the things that we can safely say can happen here, and generally might happen.
35 cars you're definitely looking at, and knock on wood, there will at some point be a big one. So you're hoping that Peggles doesn't get taken out in the very first one. But there will at some point be some bumping, a little bit of loving of these cars. But yeah, you can go from dead last to first place very quickly. I remember last year in the Daytona 500 on iRacing, I started pole, ended up getting taken out, battled my way back to first, and then got taken out again. So things can happen very quickly all the way across in both directions for Daytona, for sure.
Yeah, that's on my agenda this season. I do plan on taking part in the Daytona 500 here as well within iRacing. I have been practicing my my NASCAR driving, but I can tell you one thing that's going to happen. Season 10, round 1 from Daytona is going to be up and running, and we are green with 35 cars at Daytona. Hold on to your hats, get your drinks, grab your popcorn, because this is going to be absolutely amazing. And here already we are 2 wide settling in here as well. We've got rows of 2 all the way through the grid currently at the moment as well. And just about as we're going to define this one, Kenton, how important is the draft going to be?
Oh, your draft is everything. And you can already see cars starting to, and the term is referred to as hooking up. And once they start getting kind of connected, when that front bumper connects with that rear bumper of the car ahead of them, the danger comes from bumping on corners or pushing the pusher are 2 of the main things you want to kind of avoid unless you really trust the car behind you. But once you start pushing the pusher, things get a little dicey. If you're not holding that line, so you can see the 98 car and the 124 trying to kind of work together up at the front on that lower line, the big thing that if you're the 98 car, the number one thing you want to do is stay as straight as you can. Because the moment you start wiggling all over the place, that car's going to come up and try and connect to your bumper. If you start wiggling around, well, then there's a higher chance of that front end hooking the quarter panel, sending you up into a wall or out to the infield, and it's just going to not end there. Well, if you're any car nearby, because that'll definitely get taken out, quite a few cars. And then the other big thing you want is avoiding gaps. The closer you are as a team, the more push you're going to actually get. So you can kind of see this big gap here between the 82 and the 594. That's what you want to avoid, those big gaps in there, because once those start forming, mostly on the straightaways, on corners it's not as detrimental, strictly because you want to avoid hitting those cars, especially into the corner and spinning someone out. But you want to close those gaps as soon as you can, because then you just get more of that force to be able to push the car ahead of you and for them to pull you along at the same time.
We can see there is a little bit of a gap there starting to develop. You can see the front group on your left-hand side there, guys, and the back group as well. That back group really need to connect with that front group, and then we've got the rest behind, the 5 cars running at the back there. They really need to be up here. They cannot afford to be this far back, especially when there's a gap of 1.75 seconds already, and we're on lap 4 of 75. Don't forget stage break at 30. You want to hook up here and start getting moving as well, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be losing that draft so early on that you end up getting yourself caught up as these cars go racing round into turn 3. And at the moment, Dual, Williams, Norberg and Hall are your top 4. You can see it underneath in that 98 with Hall, Lewis, Stockner, Runge and Burrell all wrapped in there as well, Kenton. You know, they've got to be looking at the bigger picture here. They've got to try and drop that group completely. If they can drop that group completely, if that group have an incident, it's not going to affect them.
Yeah, this front section here, you can kind of see they're definitely getting a lot more push, and it's a combination of having more cars that are able to be connected, and the more cars you have, the faster that group is going to go. But at the same time, they're also getting away from what's referred to as the side draft, as it looks like the 98 there is going to be in big trouble. He kind of got, unless he's going to hop in behind this 29 and really hope he can hold on to I believe that's Strader there. But it looks like he's going to get kind of left out, as is the 121.
No!
And that is going to be the first one.
No! There is just sometimes in a man's life where I sit back with my head in my hands and I think, why would you try and take it wide in that 121 here as well? And what did it cost you, Mr. Andrew Burrell? It cost you nothing more than getting into the wall with the 29 of Christian Strada in front of you. And I wouldn't even mind, but your wheels are still turning and you're not even on the brakes. So you're literally just shoving Christian down the wall there as well. There was just... I'm going to go back, and I hate going back because it looks so messy, but we've got to go back, I think, to try and work out where this started. Strada drops out of that outside line, right? We can see that here. Drops out of the outside line, and then he kind of looks to come back out again. Now, I wouldn't have done this if I was Christian in any shape or form. I would have gone in when I had the opportunity to drop down onto that lower line. The fear is it's just about here. Comes up onto the 121 and puts him in the wall, and then both of them end up running down the wall there as well. I can't sit there and justify the fact that Strada shouldn't have gone up there. I don't believe he shouldn't have gone up. I would have slotted in behind him.
Yes, he definitely should have slotted in as soon as he could. But it looked like there was a little bit of net code with, I believe that's the 124, so a new number for Nicholas Stockner there. It looked like a little bit of net code because he kind of pinballed right off of him and kind of shot up back up the track. So not saying it was a smart move for Strada to be where he was. And I think, unfortunately, he just got caught out and didn't react quick enough. And then, unfortunately, when it comes to NASCAR, if you don't react fast enough, you're going to get thrown right to the back very quickly. And he kind of just hung himself out to dry and cost him a lot of space and some repair time for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll have to see on their fast repair situation what that will come out at as well. But I think that was just a sloppy move there. I know Christian, he's been away for a while, but at the end of the day, that's still a little bit outside of his remit, or not one that I would have thought we would have seen Christian pull there either. I think he just come up a little bit too quickly and then unfortunately wrapped himself into the car there as well, unfortunately, of the 121, I believe was, which was Burrell going in on lap 5. So unfortunately, that is caution number 1. Guys, you've only got 5 more to play for. Otherwise, I end up losing out to Kenton. I don't like losing on the... yes, I don't want losing on round 1 already. Otherwise, I am in trouble here as well. Let us know in the YouTube chat if you are cheering for anybody different other than the Spain Hours, of course, who we know here, and Seth Pegg. So it seems like the Spain Hour Pegg community is in YouTube chat as well, and not that I'm complaining. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all that other fancy jazz that you can completely do for free here as well on YouTube. So that would be absolutely amazing. But yep, here we go again. The caution's out, the pace car lights are out. We'll get going under green next time. They're going to start filing into their lanes. They have all been told who's got to go where, and Strada is just about made it out. Now the question for Strada will be, can he get on to the back of the pack before we go green?
He should have a really good shot. It's not, I mean, he's going to be allowed to go full out where everyone else has to go. I think it's 113 kilometers an hour. I don't know what that is in miles per hour because, well, like 90% of the world I use metric. So yeah, he should have a pretty good shot of catching him. I'd say probably coming into turn 3 most likely. But hopefully for him before the exit of turn 4.
How many kilometers an hour?
I think it's 112 or 113. I think is what pace is under caution or under
all right, so
safety car.
70 miles an hour. I'll give you 70 miles an hour.
All right.
All right.
There you go.
Hopefully he is going to come round and join onto the back here as well. Is Mr. Strada. Zachary Dwell takes the lead currently as well. He takes that inside line with Norberg tucked up right behind him as well. And Nicholas Stockner, Zach Lewis, Alex Witt and Noel Jankowicz. Both of these guys, of course, up 5 places. Alex, last season's defending champion, with Devon Collicott tucked in up 9. We've got Trenton Kimmel up 15. And Terry Murphy, who's up 10, with Trent Yannick, who is up 7 places there as well. But get ready, the pace car's going to do his funky turning left, and then we're going to be up and running and ready to go. It's going to be green, green, green once more here at Daytona. They crawl into the Geico restart zone, and now he's bolted, and the wall is off, and we are green, green, green once more on lap 9 here for the Daytona, the bash of the beach. Presented by the BSC, and that outside line there in that number 82 car of Justin Kuhn missed the start, got put in front of the 42 of Derek Runge, and now is on the just on a little bit of the defense with Cody Kern. Seems to be hung out there with Dan Michael right behind him. You can see how much time they're losing already here, Kenton. They're not really gaining it. They've got no help.
Yeah, and they need to slot in behind I didn't actually see who the 52 car, I believe it was. They need to slot in behind him, the 95, and it looks like the 16 are moving pretty quick right up on that top line as they connect with the 124. This lower line is going to be a little easier, and it's easier to stay in line because you get to just follow the yellow line, stick as close as that as you can. You're good to go. That top line is a little tougher, but they are providing a little more of a side draft, and it's actually going to keep the lower line from getting too far out ahead of them. So really, you want to get out front of that top line and kind of hope to prevent as much as you can of them kind of holding on to you. Just reducing that side draft, and then allows you to your entire line to go a lot faster. But this little gap right here needs to definitely close up. That'll help out pushing quite a few of these cars along and have a little more power than that group on the outside there, and hopefully move a little faster.
They're on the nose here as well of Terry Murphy, who is in that Camry. Of course, you can see that outside line. We've got a 2.9 second gap back to Brandon McLaughlin, is being pushed along by Enquiries. Burrow was in there, Rodney Roberts, Joshua Kuhn. And of course, our home, it's probably my favourite everybody else's. Mr. TJ Spadauer here as well in the 86 machine. Where's Brad? Brad's tucked up behind him as well. You don't want to lose the draft on the number 4, Brad. Otherwise, you are going to be going backwards. Stay in contact with Joshua Keefe. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. But it looks like this second group from 15th all the way down, it's not including Strada, actually. Brad's the last one in the group. So from 15th all the way down to 28, they kind of need to figure it out somehow to start moving it up. Brad's just cleared TJ there as well. TJ on that inside line as Brad was on the outside there as well. But Stockner's now taking up the lead as well. Andrew Williams, Zachary Dewell, Zach Lewis, Matthew Norberg, Jackowitz, Runge, Witt, Kimmel, and also Devon Collicott as well. If you haven't seen any of last season, you definitely should go and look at the playlist for at least over the last couple of final playoff places. It was very dramatic, the playoffs last season, and brought a lot of controversy, where I did end up getting myself in trouble. But it brought a bit of everything, didn't it, last season's playoffs?
Yeah, it was a very intense, very close racing all the way through that allowed a lot of interesting ends, I guess. There were some question marks about decisions made by teams and things like that, but in the end it was fantastic racing, and it came down to the last event for who was going to win. Even each playoff round seemed to like it was a last second ditch. I think I did more math than I have in years, trying to figure out everyone's points at the end of each race by how many laps they led and where they were at stage breaks, and it was way too much. Pretty sure I gave myself a headache every time, but it was absolutely fantastic. Lots of fun to watch, and like I said, excited that this is going to happen again.
Yeah, it definitely is there as well. There was a lot of things going on last season in the playoffs, and, well, if you haven't watched any of them, should, as I say, surprise, surprise, I got myself in trouble as well, which it doesn't really surprise some people, but it should surprise you, because I'm a very nice man, deep down. I just sometimes say things that I really probably shouldn't. There we go, as these guys are racing on now as well on lap 14 here as well. Lap 14, we have run for green for the last 5 laps, and I'm hoping it will stay like this all the way through here, and some stellar jobs from these guys. Slowly, they're getting further away, this second pack. 3.98 seconds with Jamalin and Brown and McLaughlin behind it there as well. They're slowly drifting off here, Kenton. Never an ideal scenario. Rob Sizemore, who was in the 21, that was Radial. He looked like he tapped the wall and lost a lot of time here. TJ slotted in behind Brad at the moment. So the Young and Spainhauer massive working together there as well. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, and tell me if I am at YouTube here as well, they're step brothers, right? Brad's younger than TJ. I'm sure I've got that. Unless I may have been thinking completely of 2 other brothers. And then therefore I'm wrong. So there we go. But at the end of the day, they are battling on the same piece of circuit as well. It's great to have Brad here alongside TJ, giving TJ some encouragement. Come on, TJ, win a race for me, brother, because we need it here as well. And then if we do that, we're going to get the first ever TJ Spainhour Winners' Cup once more. Brad is the oldest. Oh, sorry, Lydia, I got that wrong. Whoops. I knew it was one of them. It was 50% chance. When I can and I get it, right?
I mean, it's 50-50 coin toss, really, and yeah. But so then the younger brother is still definitely helping. Just we had the names wrong. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Got it right as well. As these guys are scrapping it out, they're losing more time though. This is the problem. Well, that's not helping. 3 wide in the back there as well. That is not helping moving your group forward. TJ, you need to tuck in, sunshine. Get on the back of Armand's bumper and literally hug the living crazy doo-doos out of him, because you're not going to start going forward. There's some big names at the back. Armand, TJ, Radel, Carson, Sizemore, Strada is at the back as well. There's some big people with this back. I know what I mean.
Do you? Because I don't think anyone else knows. Yeah, no, definitely some bigger names down here that you didn't, wouldn't really have expected to be back.
No.
But, yeah, I mean, it's Daytona. Yeah. As long as you're on the lead,
Oh, Brusso's in the wall!
that's
bro.
not how you want that to happen.
Armin Brusso just minded his own business on a Sunday drive at Daytona, and he absolutely gets levered. And he got leveled from, I believe, the 21 is Christian Strada. Oh no, looked like Keith just got all a bit funky there, didn't he?
I think he actually snagged, if you look, as he comes down off the wall.
Oh,
he just got his 21 of the wheel. It gets just
on his
enough
bumper. The radle into Keith, who went into Brusso there as well. And unfortunately for them, we are on caution number 2 here as well. That's going to give me a chance to pull somebody else in as well. And I am going to have a chat with last season's champion. Let's just going in bits before I do anything funky. But let's bring Alex Witt into the booth. Alex, last season's champion, buddy. Welcome in. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, dear sir. How was the Christmas break? Was it good for you?
Yeah, pretty good. Nice rest. Glad to be back to it, though.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure there are a lot of people that are good to be back to it. So, you know where I'm going, right? What's the ambition? Where am I going to see you this season?
Well, I'd like to say another championship again, but we don't know yet. Obviously, the season will be a little bit different without a playoffs. It's going to be, valuing consistency even more. So that's going to be the goal, is just to, be there at the end at as many races as possible.
Yeah, that's exactly going to be the issue, isn't it? Do you think it's gone in the right direction not to have playoffs, or would you have rather wanted to see playoffs?
I mean, I personally like this way without playoffs. It just leads to less random stuff that can happen, but it's still oval racing. A bunch of random stuff can happen. But it definitely leaves more in your own hands to be consistent throughout a whole season.
Yeah, definitely. Not a great qualifying for you, but we aren't really seeing that becoming an issue as you've gained 5 places and up into 6th.
Yeah, kind of just hanging out at the beginning of this. Don't want to make any crazy moves. Definitely, this is one of the ones where it's very important to be there at the end and to not have any mistakes.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, sir, I think you are completely 100% correct as well. Alex, it's been a pleasure talking to you again. Glad you had a great rest there, buddy. Look forward to seeing what you could do over this season.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care. Alex Witt there as well, up into the booth. Of course, we forgot to mention it's not playoffs, is it? It's a consistent point scoring between the 3 seasons coming into the autumn season that will get you the championship there as well. So it's going to get even more in depth as we get to the end here, Kenton, and you're going to need a calculator once more, sir.
Oh, I don't know. I don't need more calculators, and might have to enlist my wife. She's good with numbers. I'll make her do number crunch for me.
Here, love, this is the points, this is what they get, and this is where we're at. Crack on.
Exactly. It'll be perfect. She'll just sit there with a little notepad right beside me, just hacking it out real quick. Be like, it's this.
Oh, right.
I'll know everything. It'll be great.
You have to get her into the SDK, mate, and she can put it in herself, you see, and then just send it to me and come up on the screen. So that would be even more efficient than having me or you trying to calculate numbers. God, whatever is going to be happening here as well. Aaron Mayton. Mayton? Sounds like Mayton. Good luck, bro-in-laws. Brad, I hope you drive better on the game than in real life. I'd like to correct you. It's not a game, it's just a simulator. However, I did have that discussion earlier on in the UK Sim Races 5, and we did determine, well, to be honest, Craig said it was a game. I said it was a game. Craig said it was a simulator. TJ for the W as well. Wizard, Sizemore making it through like he ain't no thing. Is there as well. So, yeah, I think that, to be fair, before I go too much into the debate of a game or a sim, I think it's got aspects of both. I think you could call it a game simulator.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Okay.
as much.
Yeah, let's break it down, right? Simulator, fine. Setups, cars, engine noises, all that other fancy jazz, right? game. A, quick return back to the pits. B, the timing on the repairs is not realistic. We haven't got weather. We haven't got, well, rain is supposed to be coming in a couple of weeks, by the way, just to let you all know. So, in that aspect, the realism on the jumping back to the pits, the fast repairs, the damage model where bits come off and then go back on, the length of the repairs, barring obviously some of the incidents that we've seen, there is no way that a car repair should take 8 minutes, considering he's gone up in the wall, he's flipped over 4 times and lost all the bits of everything. So that's the game aspect of it. They're bringing in a career mode in 2025 as well. That's going to put it back into the category of game with F1 23, of course, and other games out there as well. So it's got a bit of a both here, buddy.
Yes, the career mode that they're introducing is going to be a little different. They just released, I don't know if anyone saw it, but the developer notes that they released today, it was it's going to be kind of like an introduction into how to race, how to get to things and all that kind of stuff. More so AI racing for people who have never done sim racing, which I think is going to be great and allow people to get a little more comfortable without having to immediately dive in. So I think it's going to be a nice addition.
Well, let's see, because we're going to be up and running on lap 21 after 2 cautions here as well. We've still got 54 laps remaining. Into the Geico restart zone we go. Zachary Dewell, Nick Stockner, Matthew Norberg, Andrew Williams, Noel Jackowit, and Alex Witt gets us underway here again, and that bottom 3 with the 95 of Andrew Williams tying on here has left that outside line a little bit for dead, left by Noel Jackowitz here in that 7 machine with Alex Witt right behind him, of course part of the Breakfast Club there as well, and the number 91 of Devon Collicott trying to push him along. But at the moment it is currently Dewell, Stockner, Williams, and then we go into a 2-pack.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing, if you're that front 3, that you really want to work together to make happen, because as you can see, they're already starting to get caught because there's just more power behind the draft in the group behind them. But if they're able to sort of work together, they can actually drop this group of 2 strictly because there's no side draft on them. They have all of that clean air on their outside. They're not getting extra air pushed onto them. As you can see, cars going all over the place. And I don't know, Noel got a little lucky there as he was able to avoid the 16 car there of Zach Lewis. But now you can see that.
Scrappy? Do you remember back to our very first season of BSC?
Oh, gosh. Parts of it, yeah.
Do you remember the Noel Jackowitz coming through the field like a banshee move?
Oh, our conversations, how he was, what was it?
Aggressively. Yep.
Oh, but it was controlled aggression?
Yeah, he was...
Because he was always on edge, but never seemed to cause problems.
Yeah.
Other than the first couple of races, and then after that, it was very similar. It was never in
everybody
the
caused
cause.
problems.
He was always just there.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Noel, after the first couple of races, he was in everybody else's problems. But that reminds me of the Noel that we saw back then as well, with the fact that he is being very... Oh my God, Michael beside him. Oh my God, Stockner, Michael Jackowitz here as well. They're going to be pushing 3 wide. He's got to get in. Stockner's been hung out to dry. No.
I don't know how that didn't turn anyone. That was actually quite impressive.
But how is he not in the wall? And why is he being the Noel that we saw from the first season?
Oh, it looks like Stockner's giving him a little bit. There it is. Oh, and there we go.
Stockner and Jackowitz.
I don't know who that one was on, because Jackowitz didn't really do anything to make himself go into that position. Well, like in terms of being 3 wide, there wasn't like he really had done anything to cause that. This is so he goes up and gives him a little love tap.
Well, that was a little bit more than that, wasn't it? Stockner's loose at this point, and Stockner is
because it looked like Stockner got a little loose earlier on as well, and kind of gave him a shot. So I'm not sure
Go back. I'll give you this one. I think there was a little bit of ta-ta-ta from here, right? I got a funny feeling.
There, yeah.
Stockner did not like the fact that he got his nose cut off, which is fair enough, to be honest. And then Jakowitz goes in and a door banging away, right? Then I'm not sure what that was. But then Stockner as well, after being loose, being put in the wall. And out of all of that, the poor innocent party is that number 6 car who was just kind of minding his own business, pottering along. Or is it number 9? It might actually be number 9 and Rodney Roberts. So all in all, I think there was a bit of both. So I don't know. I think Jakowitz come up first, and then Stockner got loose, and then ended up coming down on top of him.
Yeah, it looked kind of like that. Like I said, I wasn't quite sure at first because I'd seen the Jakowitz coming in. He gets down on top of him, like right off his nose, and then he kind of gives him a bump, gives him a little fishtail, just a little fishtail, just to kind of say, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then it looked like Noel wasn't very happy with that, and kind of went to go door bang him, and unfortunately bounced himself down and took out people.
Yeah.
Who unfortunately had nothing to do with it.
Well, we're going to start off this evening. We cannot go through a caution here as well without having a chat here as well. The number 1 driver within the BSC is in the 86 machine. My boy, my favorite autograph machine, Mr. TJ Spado. Welcome in, Terry. How are you, buddy? I'm all good, mate. I missed the sound of the sultry tones of your voice, dear sir. I had to bring you in for a chat. How's it going?
It's going all right. It's a little crazy in the back. Seems like some people don't know where that gas pedal's at, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, take the lead, buddy. Take the lead. Get back up there. Look, this is the only thing, right? We've got a stage break in 3 laps as well. I'm pretty sure that's where they're going to go with it. I don't know if they're combining here as well. But look, going forward, right? Come on, DJ, where are you at with this season? There's a lot of tracks, a lot of seasons here. We're going into that free season accumulation thing. Where are we going with you? Are you going to put a W on the board?
My plan is to win as much as possible this season.
Have you been practicing?
I have. I've got new gear, so I've been testing it out quite a bit.
Okay. Also, we've got Brad's in here as well. Have you been helping Brad?
We've been trying quite a bit. We've been doing the carb cups to get used to drafting. He's fairly new to the service, and to this style of racing. So we've been trying to keep it collected and organized.
Okay, and what's the ambition, TJ? Where are we going this season with you? How happy am I going to be?
I'm hoping you'll see family 1, 2 several times this year. We can make it happen.
Ooh, okay. And sporting a new livery this year. No more Kelly services. They've got out the window. We've got Busby Bees on there. Your mum's craft shop. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, Busy Bees Crafts. This car is a tribute to my grandfather, my Papa Gene. He used to sim race, and they called him Copperhead. And this was my tribute to my grandfather.
Okay, right, that's fine. Now, last season in the opening round, had an opportunity to take the win. You gave it to Christian. Now, this season, I would appreciate it if you have that opportunity again. Please take the win.
I'm going for the killer instinct, man. I'm going to try and take first.
Oh, I hope you do, dear sir. I hope you do. Stay with the draft. You will make me exceedingly happy if you go over the line in first place as well. We've got the Spain Hour Massive in YouTube chat as always here, TJ. Quick shout out to them before I think we're going green this time.
Yep. I appreciate all my fans, family, and friends, and especially my wife. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and I'm ready to just relax and spend time with her.
Okay, buddy. Well, good luck on that one. Let's hope you get it, TJ. Go get the win, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm like a kid who needs an autograph, Kenton, I swear to God. However, Mama Spain Hour, I need a new cup because TJ's changed livery. So, you know, get on it. as well as Billy's in chat. Let's go, TJ. Right, pace car lights are out this time around here as well. We've ditched the Kelly services. We are on to a new sporting livery. You got it, says Billy. Oh, look at me getting free stuff sent to me. I'll send you a signed photo, Billy. You can put it on your mantelpiece or something, you know what I mean, above the fire. Into the Geico restart zone we go here as well. And we are up and running, and we are green once more on lap 28 for the BSC Cup season 10, round 1 from Daytona here as well. And once more we settle into that 2-line deep. We will say that Trent Yannick, you have missed the start, brother. You have got to try and catch up with that cars in front, otherwise you are going to get hung out to dry like my missus hanging out a pair of my trousers. I can tell you that much. But all in all, once again up and running, Kenton.
Yeah, often running in this little group here of Williams, DeWall, and Norberg. Looks like it's they're going to be fighting near the front for a good chunk of these races. I mean, they have quite high I ratings. They're up there with the likes of Alex Witt, but it'll be very interesting to see. I think this is going to be a little more competitive crew, and we'll see maybe a little less Alex just running away with races. But as we say that, as he's moved up, what is he up 6 and into P5 there? So who knows? It is NASCAR. Weird things happen every race. As I think we have Terry Murphy in up 18, Trenton Kimmel is up 18, Almquist up 18, 17 now. But yeah, there's lots of big movers coming around so far as of already in the positives. We won't put too much on the negatives, but a lot of positive numbers that have maybe put this space up.
Yeah, do you know what will be great for this season as well is basically if we can hang on to the amount of field that we've got. We saw it towards the end of last season. We saw a big drop-off, I think, as well. The All-Star race, didn't go so well. Me and you took part in that in the end, actually, and had some fun at Dirt on Bristol. That was highly amusing, however bad I was. So at the end of the day, we won't talk too much about that one. I think I finished a couple of laps down, to be honest. But I think overall, if we can hold on to the participation, I think this season could be one of their best ones we've been involved with. And we've been involved in, season 8? Was it we come in? Season 8? It must have been 8.
I think season 8 was our first one,
yeah. Our season 8 was our first foray into the world of BSC. And I'm hoping if we can keep up with where we're at the moment, this would be absolutely amazing here as well. So let's see what's going to happen there once again. Bradley is all the way down here. He is in good company, mind you. He's got Jakowitz and Radel and Strada around him there, Aaron. So he is in good company. Let's see how we get on here as well. I could probably get you an autograph from TJ, Mr. Announcer Guy. Sorry, don't know your name. First time watching. Well, it's James. Thank you very much for that one, buddy. And Kenton, of course. I've got to bring in the Canadian here as well, who's alongside me. So, yeah, you will see us for the whole stage break.
I think it's... okay, I was like, how is there a caution? But, yeah, okay. Couple I thought it was this will be a stage break, but I thought I was gonna say because it was supposed to be lap 35.
Yeah, I think it's been thrown a little bit early here as well. No real dramas that I can see. Nobody's gone off that I can see. I think we've just hit a stage break. However, we have just got Tom Kuhn, who has just unfortunately crashed here. So we will try and have a look. Well, that happened. Yes, Thomas Kuhn happening there as well on the stage break. Peggles wondering. Look at Tom Kuhn. I am looking at him as well, but he had already crashed. The yellow flag had already come out, and this was pump drafted in a corner, right? Even I can see that. I'm not completely blind. That was unfortunately his brother. I'm going to presume it's his brother, Justin, behind him, who's bumped drafted him into the corner and put him into the wall. So the Kuhn's not having a good time there as well, with Thomas and Justin putting each other into the wall.
Third.
There's a third?
I think there are 3 of them.
What?
I could be wrong. Maybe one's spotting, but I was just looking in at the Discord, and the they call themselves the Dust Mites. There's Joshua, Justin, and Thomas. So I'm assuming one might be spotting, but there are. Yeah, there's Tom, Justin. I'm just trying to see if I can track down where any of the other ones are. Or the other one would be.
Justin's in the pits. Tom's in the
Yes.
We try and have a chat with Thomas.
Oh, and Joshua, So yeah, all three of them are driving. Joshua Kuhn is in the. Oh my gosh, my thing's going insane, and all the drivers are bumping up.
We have
Joshua is in the 83 car.
Yeah, so we've got Joshua, Thomas there as well. But we have got Thomas into the booth. Thomas, how are you?
Doing good, sir. How you doing?
Well, sir, apart from the fact I've just got you watched you get pumped into the wall there by, I'm going to presume, was your brother?
No, it's my son.
Your son? Oh no! I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna have to write this down now. Tom is dad. Who put you in the wall? It was 82, wasn't it?
Yeah, my son Justin. He clipped my left corner and pushed me in.
So Justin is son, right? And where is? Who else have we got? Joshua. Yeah, who's Joshua?
He's my other son.
Oh, okay. Well,
and then Josh Keith is my son-in-law. I got my whole family in here.
And who's your son-in-law?
Joshua Keith.
Blimey. Hold on. I've got to write this one down as well. I might have to get this tattooed on my fingers or something just to get this one worked out. Right, so Tom, you've just been put in the wall by your son, all right?
Yeah, yep.
Oh.
Yep, he's going to have a heck of a conversation with me tonight.
Yeah, how grounded is he going to be?
I can't ground him because he's 23 years old. I can't do that, but he can sure buy me a couple brews for that.
Mate, first of all, when you go back to the chat room, tell him James said no bump drafting in the corners, because that's what he did.
There you go. That's what I told him. I said, you can't bump me in the corner.
Well, tell him James said definitely no bumping in the corners now, because I've just witnessed you.
I'll definitely do that.
Oh, dearie me. What's the plan for you then, Tom? Where are we going to see you within this season?
I'm going to hang on for every race I can.
Okay, points on the board?
I'm hoping. I'm planning for it.
Well, that's all we can ask for there, buddy. Let's see you get back on the lead lap as well, if you can. Here, because I believe you're a lap down.
I am.
Or 2 laps down, aren't you?
I think I'm 2 laps down, aren't I?
Yeah, 2 laps down. You have to pray for more yellows, but I'm sure we're going to get them here as well. So good luck there, buddy. Well, maybe not ground him if you can't, because he's a little bit too old. But give him a little bit of telling off there as well, eh? Because you can't keep.
There you go.
You can't keep doing that, mate. Get away you a couple of beers by the end of it, I'm sure.
There you go, exactly.
Buddy, well, you take care, mate, and have fun down there in the Dust Mites chat room.
I'm doing my best. You take care.
And you, bye.
Nice talking to you.
And you, bye. Oh, God, blimey, that's going to be one for me. So we got Tom, who's dad, Justin's son, Joshua's the son, and Joshua Keith is the son-in-law. So it's a good old mix going on here, Kenton. Work that one out.
Just having a full-on family affair amongst all the different brothers and sons and dads and everything. So does that mean Terry Spainhour Sr. is going to now have to hop in so he can join in with that group?
Oh, man, can you? Terry Spainhour Sr. Get on it, sir. Get a wheel, strap it to a desk and have done with it. That's how I drive. You don't need none of this fancy jargon that all these other people have. I can tell you that much. We're going to be up and running once more with the pace car lights are out on lap 35. We've got 40 to go. Good night, Jessica and Aaron, says Billy. Good night. I presume that's Billy going to bed. Oh no, Aaron's off to bed. Right, see you later there, buddy. Take care, but we're in the restart zone and we are up and running once more with Williams, Norbert, Whit the Wild, Cody Kern, Stockner and Murphy, who is up 17 places. Terry Murphy there as well. Bowmanville, hometown once more. And now, unfortunately, as my chair just nearly collapses on me, there is a group developing already, and this second group needs to kind of get a bit of a wriggle on.
Yeah, and this bottom line, they need to kind of close up, and it's just the having gaps that big just doesn't do anything for you, especially when there's more cars than the one above. As I say that as the 52 of Trenton Kimmel drops down, and now that's closed that gap up as they go through coming out of turn 4. But you'll see this group start to make a little bit of movement. They'll be able to pull a little harder. The chalk group is starting to close up as well, and it's the beauty of super speedways is the groupings change so fast because guys get into working with their teams, and we kind of talked with Tom's Kuhn there about how he's with his sons and everything like that, and they're working in that one team as we go 3 wide, and that is just going to do nothing for that group as they drop right back. That's the exact opposite of the direction you want to be going. But yeah, like if you're able to work with your team, it's going to help out so much because you can decide when you're going to pit together. And we've talked about getting into the pit lane, and as there's a little contact with the wall in that back group there. But getting into pit lane, you don't want to all go in at once. The bigger the group, the harder it actually is because you have to slow down a little bit more to be able to avoid other cars that are also slowing down. So it just creates a lot of problems that way. And now, unfortunately, we've had no green flag stops yet. But we definitely could at some point during this race. And if you have a huge group going in, like I said, there's much more of a risk of an incident occurring, of making contact, spinning out, whatever it is. Whereas if you can go in with a small group of 4 or 5, you can get to your stall a lot quicker. You're not having to brake as much. And when you come out of that pit, you have a team with you that you guys can then work together to try and catch back up to the other drivers and kind of hold on to that sort of speed and not have too many problems. As we have another yellow flag, and it looks like.
I'm trying to work out where it is at the moment. I've got a funny feeling it may have involved this second group. Brusso's going to get his nose cut off by Brad. Brad's going to then thunder the 51 in the walls. Seth takes evasive action here as well. Unfortunately, Mr. Young, that's a learning curve for you, sir, because that, unfortunately, was on you on that one. You cannot come up like that on somebody and expect them to disappear, dear sir. They are not Harry Potter, and unfortunately, Brad, gotta be you as well, because obviously you cannot come up like he did then. That's caused the issue in the first place, isn't it? Because you can see it here. He's come up on Armand Brusso, I believe that is, as well, in the 11 machine. He has come up, and unfortunately for Brad, that will be a bit of a learning curve there as well. So, Aaron, okay, fam, good luck. Love you all. 2 a.m. comes early. Oh, I wonder if he's in Hey, must be in the It's 2 a.m. for me.
Or he has to start work at 2 a.m. and he's in where I am. Or be up at 2 a.m.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be.
Let me know there as well. I suppose while we're doing all this one, where is Boss Man himself? There.
I'm right here.
No, not.
He's in the BSPS.
He is, yes. Let's have a quick chat with Armand. Pull him up there so he knows he's coming in. Don't want to freak him out too much. He's already grey after the 5th caution on 40. But let's have a chat with the boss man himself, Mr. Brusso. Good evening, Mr. Brusso, sir. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I'm back with the BSC. I've just watched you put Brad in the wall. However, he did come up on you there as well. So we'll let you off for that one. How's the racing down there in the backpack?
Oh, the backpack is frightening. But I'm going to take the blame for that wreck because I got eaten up and I was stuck in the middle. So I'll take the blame for that one.
You can't take the blame when somebody comes...
I'll take the blame. Yeah, but I put myself in a bad spot. That's on me.
Oh,
vortex of danger.
Yes. Yeah, but he wasn't in the vortex of danger. He got come up on. Brad, unfortunately, come up on him. But anyway, look, if that's on you, that's on you. Listen, we're not opening too bad here. 34 cars on track. We've got no Calvin Ross. Where is Calvin? Is he?
I guess his computer broke, during qualifying.
At times for him as well. Interesting format this season, sir. Tell us a little bit more about it. We have filled some of the viewers in at home, but obviously coming from the horse's mouth as such. Tell us about how we're going to work on these 3 seasons.
Yeah, so they're just 3 12-race seasons. Each driver will get 2 drop weeks. We'll take the top 2 winners from each split and bring them to the final race of the season. If we have repeats, we'll go to the next person down. So we'll have 6 different drivers, and we'll declare a final champion.
And is that going to happen at Phoenix on the last race of the season? Is it?
No, there will be one more race after Phoenix. We just can't decide on a track yet. I don't know what I want to do.
Chicago.
I know exactly what track we have to do it on.
Maybe I'll allow the 6 drivers to all agree on what track they want to race on. We'll see.
What track are you thinking?
Just for James? For James, I think Coda.
No.
That's where we should go.
No.
I would like to see how the season goes. If there's a troublesome track, we won't do it. And if there's a track that goes smoothly, maybe that'll be a good leader.
Swear to God, if you do it at Coda, I'm going to...
It won't be a road course. It will not be a road course.
Good. I feel proud of you now for saying that as well. I am looking through your calendar, and I'm not seeing Martinsville.
It's on there once.
Oh, even that.
In the first half.
Yeah, it is, yes.
Have it on April 2nd.
Yeah, we do.
Race 8.
All right, so we could... All right, not Martinsville. I'll let you know. We could go to Monza. That's an oval.
Oh, we're not James. No.
It's an oval.
No.
Really?
Twin Ring Matigi's got an oval.
We'll figure something out.
Oh,
The stinger.
In other words,
mile race.
Yeah, in other words, don't go with James's ideas because I fully understand that one, Armand, as well. But are we seeing you on track all season here, buddy? Because last season we saw you in the booth a lot.
Yes, you will. But I have currently lost my brakes, so I think my race is over.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
You don't need brakes anyway. You're at Daytona. Just fall flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna race until I die.
Okay, well, just make sure you avoid everybody in the process there, Armand. Harry said North Wilkesboro, Mr. Spainhow Senior, of course.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, for God's sake. Right, Terry, you're with me. We'll just have to do it ourselves. It'll be fine. Right, Armand, it's been a pleasure. I'll let you get back to the racing. Enjoy the fact that you've got no brakes, but it's at Daytona. You don't need them. All right?
Yeah, but if I have to make a pit stop, we're going to be in trouble. So we'll figure something out.
All right, bud. You take care. Just whack the handbrake up. That works. See you later.
Thank you.
An ever informative interview with Mr. Brusso there as well, who's told us how the season is going to work. 6 cars, 6 winners from the seasons that we've got. So we've got 3 seasons. That the top 2 of each season will go off into the playoff final after Phoenix. That's what I got from that.
Yeah, sounds about right. I think that was basically what he was saying. And then it's going to be kind of a dependent on sort of how the races go on as to where they end up going. I think, just throw the massive monkey wrench as we are actually back underway. So before we continue with that, Cody Kern gets a massive jump. And for those at home that did watch last season, I guess, and Alex Witt and all his fantastic jumps, they don't work here at Daytona or Talladega. Massive jumps do absolutely nothing for you because all you do is lose the draft behind you and they just reel you back in. So you, in all reality, actually want to go at the same time as the people behind you. Otherwise, you just end up getting left out and then you lose all momentum. So unfortunately for Cody Kern, we saw that happen very quickly as he got kind of swallowed up. And there's a familiar face up at the front with Alex Witt.
Yeah, up 10 places.
There.
Him and Cody Kern have got 27 places gained between them, mind you, as we go on to lap 44 as well. Calvin Ross is in YouTube chat. Love me some Armand. We love him too here as well. I do love having a chat with Armand there as well. He's taking responsibility for that Brad Young thing. Not too sure if that is completely true. Cody Kern is always my pick at super speedway tracks, says Calvin. Well, I don't know, because he's got some strong people behind him. And don't you upset my Mr. Spainow or Eva, I'll tell you that much there as these guys are racing out at the Bash of the Beach on lap 44. We're coming into 30 to go. Can we get the last 30 clean? Because after this one, I've got only 6 cautions of the evening, and I want to win the opening race here as well. Armand's jumped back to the pits. I think his brakes have gone now as well, and he probably feels like he's a liability, and he's jumped back to the pits there, but everybody else still motoring on again here. Brad's a lap down, unfortunately, in the first outing for the BSC, and he is going to be further down. I didn't realise he'd come out without any draft there, and unfortunately for Brad, he's driving in lap 33, all on lap 45, all on his own in that 33 machine, and he is going to be eaten very quickly. If Brad doesn't know what to do on back markers, he's going to learn quick. So good luck, Brad, as they're all coming around here to try and have a go getting past him.
Yeah, I'm very curious as to, I'm sure one of the drivers at the front's going to be yelling at him to which direction to go, if it's up or down. And typically for a lot of these super speedways, you want to go up, but it is very driver dependent. Some will actually prefer going around and going up high because it kind of limits that top line's ability to move. But with how it is currently, with the top line being ahead, I don't think they're going to want to have to go up. So we'll see how this all ends up playing out, because very wide. Yeah, it looks like he's gone to the top end of the track and will kind of stay up there as everyone comes by him.
Yeah, but he's got to stay up. He can't come back down, because he's going to have 2 rows here trying to get past him here as well. What I would do at this moment in time is probably just give it a little lift. You don't want to be up there too much here. He is hugging the wall. There's all the leaders gone past there as well. Management of traffic is important. Brad's done that as well, and that's a great camera angle to see all the cars come racing past as Mr. Brad Young goes down now as well. Yeesh! As we were inside Joshua Keith there at that point, I got a funny feeling as well. There goes Seth Peggles there as well, and the last car has gone through, so Brad has survived his first outing of being lapped here. He's now got to latch onto the back and start pulling himself forward, because he can, as always, anything can happen here. Justin and Tom Kuhn as well got involved in their own little incident on lap 30 here. They're back together once more. Let's hope this time Tom survives in that 19 machine with Justin behind him in the 82 there, and hopefully won't push him into a corner. But at the moment it's Cody Kern out in front with Alex Witt down. Michael making moves as well. Michael and Witt, where have we seen that before?
Yeah, I feel like it's deja vu all over again of those two being up at the front, and a little influx of some new blood there with Zachary DeWall, the fellow countryman, as he's also Canadian, kind of up in that mix as well. And you can see that bottom line is really getting some fantastic runs coming out of the back straight, as they just seem to go whipping by going into turns 3 and 4, and then going through the tri-oval section, it seems like that outside line gets a little more of a run. So this is going to get very interesting as we start making our way to the kind of the back half of this race, with just how everyone's going to kind of make these moves and what kind of reactions you're going to get. And the biggest thing, obviously, not having Jordan Malcolm, I'm not expecting any massive fuel saving stints that take your breath away. So it'll be very interesting on who decides to do what and when.
Absolutely. Brusso's just been lapped there. He has come out in front of a group, so if he can pick this group up, he might be okay here. And they are coming at him at a rate of knots. He goes to that inside line. Now go back up. Get out here as well. Dude, we're going to get strung out here like an absolute trooper as well for Armand Brusso. I don't know if he's going to go back into the pits. I don't know if his brakes are fixed here as well, but this is the front at the moment. We are too wide here as well. 2 banks of 2 fighting it out. The top line, there's a lot of wiggling going on all the way through here. You've got to keep it straight, gentlemen, here as well. And unfortunately, they need to keep making sure they do stay straight, because otherwise they're going to be struggling here again. Locking them up. There's a little bump draft off the 95 there. That is Williams, and that's Cody Kern in front, who's getting a big old push right about now. Back off on corner entry, otherwise you're going to send him up into that top line, and God knows what's going to happen after that. We haven't had a big one. Touch wood, we're on to the 25 to go. Now let's see what happens here as well. Can this be the repeat of my Talladega adventure I had the other day, where I went from 27th to 6th on the final lap here, as both groups decided to terminate each other in a rapid way.
Those are always the best when you're at the back and you just see smoke coming up from in front of you, and you're like, oh, this could be, and it's just absolute carnage everywhere. It makes for entertaining racing as the driver. If you're anyone involved in it, not so fun.
No, let's just say voice chat went crazy. But do you remember the cars scene where he starts dodging through all of the traffic? That was me.
Yep. Yeah.
I was off the brakes, on the brakes, off the accelerator, on the accelerator, turning left, turning right, jinking my way through. It was absolutely horrendous. But I did make it through and finished in 6th place. So I was dead proud of myself by the end of it there as well. The top line still battling now as well into the last 24 to go here. Everybody jostling around. They are moving up and down. They've got a little bit of a wiggle on here as well. In the O2 machine currently, Zachary DeWall. That's what he's seeing. He's seeing a cat. Oh, that's something different to be looking at going into the race, I suppose, as well, on the back of Dan Michael's machine.
Just that cat's face is fantastic. I like it.
Yeah, it's just staring at you.
You're staring at, but I mean, hey, fair enough, I guess.
I don't know if they're actually Dan Michael's cats there as well, but they are on the move here. Once more, he's going up. You need to stay in behind him, get hold of that Camaro in front of him as Dan Michael's got on his back bumper.
I've never noticed that.
No, I've never noticed it until now. Behind the Camaro machine there once more. Alex Witt's almost dropping that group down into that bottom line. He's trying to hold that outside. We have still got the other line alongside us currently at the moment there as we're making contact here again. Andrew Williams is on the other side of this line. That's what he's seeing, that top line. More cats for us to have a look at as we're on that board with Andrew Williams on that inside line. There we go, cats all over the place there as well.
Yeah, I did not realize how many cats are on that car, but they are everywhere. Some pretty entertaining faces to be staring at if you're any of the drivers. And this Alex and Dan Michael and Zachary here, the big thing that they're gonna want to do is and that's gonna that was what I was gonna say. They want to kind of work together to get down into that bottom line and try and avoid kind of keeping everybody else coming along. But wow, did that outside line just get a massive run coming out of there, taking over, and I think a few of them are going to drop and sort of take over the lead here. I think that Zachary ends up taking over in first, but a lot of the people coming in, and this is going to be what we were talking about with those green flag pit stops, is a few cars coming in needing some fuel with 21 laps to go here.
Yeah, Witt, Kern, Jacobs, Collicott, Murphy, Kimmel, all in the pits. Trent Yannick's in the pits as well. He's on his way out. Brusso's back in the pits again. I think Brusso's run is done for the evening here. And now at the front, he's at the front, mind you, is my boy in the 86 machine, getting a push from Joshua Kuhn here as well, with Zachary DeWalt right behind him. Is this TJ's moment? Are we going to see TJ take it? Where is he going to be on fuel, though? Does he need to pit again?
I believe, I'm trying to remember how much fuel they actually have. It's they don't even say this year. I don't think so. If everyone else is already pitting, or a bunch of other cars have pit.
TJ pitted on 26.
Yeah. I think he's going to have to... Well, that'll help right there. That's what he needs. Because all of this front group is now going to go into the pits right away, and this is actually... I don't know if this actually helps.
Oh, Runge's been involved with something. He's heading off in a different direction to what I've seen here. Let's go back. That Runge was Runge, but it looks a bit Strada. Oh. Wow. He avoids the car coming out there, and Christian Strada, I believe that was Christian Strada in that machine. No, it wasn't Strada.
Oh, 21, that's Radel, isn't it?
Radel.
Anthony Radel.
Yeah, Radel's on a bit of a killing path at the moment, isn't he, unfortunately, for Anthony Radel there. But that is a yellow flag once more, unfortunately. Yeah, so we've got 19 to go. We've got the caution on lap 56, and that was Radel and Runge having a little bit of a pat. So for TJ, this could work out in his favour. Does he need to be able to come into the pits? Yeah. His pit stop done.
He has to. Because so they're going to be coming up because they were almost lapping this front group of cars. So if he's able, I'm assuming most of the leaders are going to come in now. Like 19 to go. You're going to really want to get in now. Then you don't have to worry about, most likely won't have to worry about fuel at all for the rest of the race.
I would say get into the pits. I would say
I'd rather take during the caution flag than trying to do it later.
I agree.
And getting stuck with a green flag.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've got to go into the pits. I think a lot of people have here. Peggles is the only one who hasn't. And he is going round again, is Seth Pegg. But Pegg pitted on pit lap 40. So he only had 35 to go. Do we think he could make it with 35 to go here as well?
It's going to be a question of how well he was fuel saving, and obviously, I believe if I remember correctly, at Daytona in the next gen cars, if you're in a draft, you're only using about half a gallon per lap. So it's all going to kind of come down to how much fuel they had to sort of begin with, and what their kind of limit was. So if he's been smart with his fuel and stayed kind of in the draft and kind of utilized it as best he can, he might have a good shot. But it looks like TJ is going to be holding on to that P2 sort of spacing, and this could get really interesting because tires aren't going to play a factor here. With Daytona, you could go sell 75 laps on the same set of tires and it wouldn't do anything to you. It's not like where would it be? Like Bristol or Dover, where if you go more than like 25 laps, you're going to be like, oh gosh, there's nothing left.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that shouldn't have much of an effect. I think the bigger thing is going to be making sure they have enough fuel. So Seth's going to have a little bit of an issue as him being in front. He's going to be using more fuel than if he was behind, but we'll see how it ends up playing out throughout the rest of this.
Yeah, we will be able to have a look and see here as well. Some of the cars' paints are just loading in at the moment in time. There seems to be an issue in PP at the moment that's causing me a little bit of a drama, but as the paints start loading in there as well, and Armand Brusso is his paint that's causing me a problem as well. It's not loading in currently. Apparently Brusso has a red Ferrari in February. So there we go. We'll look forward to seeing that one when we can there, Mr. Brusso. I will check all the settings, but I'm pretty sure it is, and how it has been here as well. Now, 17 to go. We've got TJ at the front. Okay, it's time for me to get a little bit edgy. Can he do it from that top line?
It'll all kind of depend on how the group behind him works with him. I've noticed there's a few drivers with these orange wheels, and I think they're all part of the same team. I could be wrong, but I think so.
Yeah, no,
so I think he's all gonna.
I think I kind of got to agree with you. Well, I think Stockner, Norberg, Williams, and the O2 at the wall are all the same team. And Williams, I think, as well, might be. Who's in the 98? Jack Hall. I wish if they were in the same team, they would update the SDK Drivers app, though, where you can put your team name in as well. So if you do watch this back, there is an SDK Driver app that pulls in your information. So if you can go onto that one, that would be amazing, and fill in your team names, then we would see it here as well. And we'll be able to know who's in what team. That would be absolutely amazing.
And if I remember correctly, I think they had a comment earlier on about wanting to sort of separate into who can score points. So there's been some teams that were quite large that have kind of been not split, but they have a B team and an A team or that kind of thing to sort of allow different teams aspects of it. So I'm curious if that actually ended up happening, but we'll see how that all keeps going, because this is going to be interesting. TJ and Seth Peggles at the front. Didn't see that at the start.
No, definitely didn't, but here we go. The Australian versus the American versus the Canadian. What's going to happen? TJ's missed the start. It's either that or Seth's got a massive jump, but I don't think it's going to be long before he holds on to that lead. I think that top line's going to be coming. However, they have just been left out there as well. Michaels, his custom numbers off in settings again. He's asked me the same thing. I've checked through them. No, it's not. There. No, it's all fine. Oh, TJ! Oh, he's going to go down the order. Now, here we go with their boys at the top. They are pushing. Get up, get up! Him and Seth have just been eaten alive there as well from DeWaal, Stotner and Williams, and TJ's hung out in that middle line. He's got to either back off or he's got to try and get out somewhere here as well, otherwise it's not going to work this time. Back in behind him, there we go. He's settled in behind him. Peggles has done the same, but Peggles did it a little bit earlier on. Now here again, Peg and McLaughlin are next to each other. TJ's all the way down in 14th. After that one simple mistake there, Kenton has cost him big time as he drops all the way down here as well, behind the 65 of Andrew Germano.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of your quick notes on how to drive or how not to drive when it comes to super speedways. If you get hung out to drift and you lose that draft, you are gone. There's no recovery very easily from that. You are going to be dropped right to the back trying to get in. Unless you can get in really early and get lucky, it's not even going to be close. You will disappear from sight very fast.
Yeah, Witt, Jakowitz, Collicott and Kuhn are into the pits at the moment here as well, unfortunately for them guys. So let's see what happens. DeWaal, Williams, Roberts, Keith, Branham, McLaughlin, Strader and Michael are the top 6 currently, or top 7 I should say. Stockner's coming up on the outside. He's got Norberg behind him giving him a push. TJ's nestled in once more, so he's still within the pack, and he's got Seth Pegg right behind him here again. So yeah, unfortunately for TJ there, he kind of got eaten out a bit of alive here, and unfortunately is now down the pack. It looks like somebody's been out in the wall. That's not Norberg. I think that might be Zach Lewis on that outside. No, it's not. It's behind that. There's Cody Kern or Onquist. Cody Kern.
Yeah, I think that was Cody Kern out there as he kind of made a little bit of a tap with the wall. And same thing, once you lose that momentum and that speed, it's almost impossible to get it back without getting really lucky and tagging up with somebody and really holding on and hoping it all goes well, because you're going straight backwards at that point, as we just saw a car go whipping by. I believe it was a left car.
Yeah, Justin.
Yeah, it's you lose that draft and you're very in trouble in terms of trying to stick to anything.
So keep an eye on these lines and see how they're working out here again. So hopefully these guys will miss it. We've got 12 to go. We need probably a caution with some of these guys to bring it back here. I want more on that outside line. If I was TJ, I'd be going up on that outside line. That's Alex Witt, believe it or not, just about to get lapped here. Oh! Ah! That nearly happened.
Yeah, that was almost very bad. Thankfully, nothing came of that, but yeah, that was almost very dangerous. And so this is going to also be interesting. I'm curious how DeWaal and Williams work here, because I don't know if they're on like the same team or if they're part of the same team or what's going on. But there is a way for DeWaal to kind of hold this position and not sort of allow the bump draft too much. So these cars kind of create like an air bubble, and it sort of is around that kind of distance that they're at right now. And you can kind of see as he is sort of getting away a little quicker.
Whoa.
And oh, that's a few cars.
Oh, Stottner and Mike.
I think that one's on Dan. There goes Norberg.
Oh,
EJ gets it out of the way.
Norberg's in the wall as well. So Stottner and Norberg, if they're on the same team, they're unfortunately into the wall on lap 65. So, yeah, Stottner and Michael. That conversation, I'm sure, here as well. Guys, I'm just going to pop on why we've got this brief minute. I want to pop back onto the start screen. I want to check something here because it's driving me absolutely crazy. We'll be right back after this short message. Okay, guys, we are back here as well. I just had to try and sort out a little bit of a technical issue here as well as we go into 9 to go. Thank you so much if you are here for joining us as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bells. Definitely give it a like, though. Give it a good old thumbs up. You haven't already here. And, yeah, that would be absolutely amazing there as well. Kenton, where are you going with that one? Who do you think's in fault of that there?
Yeah, I think it was Dan Michael. It looked like he had come up a little bit. I don't think it was like an intentional incident. I think it was just a case of not even getting loose. It just looked like he kind of got unfortunate, or sorry, not coming up. He came kind of down trying to get back in front, and I don't think he realized how much Stockner had actually moved ahead of his rear quarter panel, and kind of led to him just getting hooked there and spinning it around. Oh, and Peggle says his is starting to show up, so I think we have to hop to Peggle. Oh, there's Brusso's Ferrari livery.
Yeah, as well. I can see that. That was unfortunately due to one of my reinstalls there as well. Unfortunately, due to having to, well, my P crashed earlier on with iRacing. Absolutely killed my machine. So, yes, there are a lot of people who have got brand new liveries as we go into the final 8. No need to shout at me, Seb. It's fine. I've got it. I mean, I can see.
I'm trying to read that.
Cotton it.
Cotton on?
Cotton on. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the rest of it says. Yeah. Factory Cotton On and Co. Cotton On. There we go. But that's TJ's livery in front there as well. So when he was telling me about Copperhead, I was all a little bit confused, but now I know what he was actually talking about on that one as well. As you see, a couple of others have also changed liveries as well. That is my mistake. The button unfortunately was pressed that it was off the custom numbers and it should have been on, and this is so that is on me, unfortunately, for that one. As I say, I did have to do a brief little restore between broadcasts earlier on because I did have a pro PC issue. At one point, it asked me to completely find a file, but there we go. Right, we are going to be up and running as we go into the final 8 here, into the Geico restart zone we go. Zachary Dewar right in front with Andrew Williams there. Alongside him is Rodney Roberts as well. But it's still action, action, action here as we go into that final 8, Kenton. Who's going to take it?
Oh, I have to go with my Canadian. I think DeWall, he's been near the front or at the front pretty much this entire race, and I think he's just going to have one of the better options and chances, but it looks like he has a good chunk of his team kind of there to push with him, and Williams at least. But we can see Joshua Keith also up there, so it's kind of one of those, who knows? But hopefully a good fun time and not too much of a spinning, crashing, and all that going through the end.
Now let's see here as well as we're coming now into the final 7. That bottom line is being left out a little bit here with Rodney Roberts. Unfortunately for him, that top line's got a big old push. Let's see if that bottom line can get through. Here again on the inside once more. We've got the group, we've got the pack. Dewar, Williams, Keith, Strada, Roberts, McLaughlin, Jamal and Kritz, Hall, Zach Lewis, Pegg, TJ and Burrow with Runge at the back. That bottom line is coming a little bit now as well. There's a 3 wide in the middle. That's the 28 machine, I believe, there as well. And I got a funny feeling, the 98 machine, sorry, is going to get strung out. That is Mr. Hall. Oh, TJ, you need to clear that mess. You need to clear that mess. Oh, they're going 3 wide. 3 wide. TJ got a tap there as well. 5 to go. It's all getting a little bit scrappy. They're 3 wide in the middle. Now the outside line is trying to move again. TJ's lost some speed here as well. He's got Strada trying to go up behind him and Jamal in behind that as well as they're trying to push forward. For me, it would be what's going to happen here. Are they going to try and push a second line? We're under yellow. Oh, that was further back in the pack, I think. Unfortunately, it looks like Mr. Radel may have been caught up again. He was. This time it wasn't on his own doing. That is with the 52 machine of no, it's not Kentel, is it? Yeah, it is. Kentel behind him there as well, who may have unfortunately tapped him into the wall. So Mr. Brenton Kimmel putting Mr. Strada into the wall there. So that's very unfortunate, but we're going to have, Radel into the wall. So, yeah, it's going to be a straight sprint straight to the end here, Kenton.
Yeah, which is always more exciting, I find, when you get the straight green, white checkered, and it's just kind of a force it through and see who's got fuel left at the end. And it'll be a little interesting, but I think it's going to come down to a very exciting finish, and all they got to do is get to that white flag, and then we won't have to worry about cautions at all anymore.
No, but getting there is going to be interesting, isn't it? Let's be real about it as well.
Yes.
Stockner's been in the pits now for about 8 minutes. Going to be out at this point. Russo in that Ferrari livery machine has given a bit of a showcase here as well. As I say earlier on, that was my issues. I did have a crash earlier on in iRacing, and I had to do a brief stall there. Dylan Kritz in that 34 machine. We've got DJ up 18 places, 28 places for Joshua Keith.
Yeah, fantastic drives out of quite a few people. Like we said, lots of big movers. Dylan Kritz has gone up 16. Spanhauer's up 18. Pegg is up 15. Lots of big movers in a positive way here. And obviously, 3 laps to go once we hit green. And I guess 2 laps really, but once we go green, and it'll be interesting to see where everybody ends up finishing, as this has been a pretty entertaining race. And I'm just going to point out it's 8 cautions right now.
Yeah, all right. I've seen that. I'd like to point out as well, I do love it here as well. Matt Simo, trust Peggles to put his roof number upside down. He has done there as well. Out of everybody else, he has stuck it up the wrong way as Seth. So, good lad here as well. So, yeah, let's see how they all get on at the moment. Zachary Dewar is still out in front here as well. So, great job from him. Brandon McLaughlin in the mix. We haven't seen much of Brandon in that number 81 Ford there. So, great moving from him. He's up 8 places with Dylan Critz behind him. But this is going to be the lineup for the front row. It's going to be DeWall and Williams, and then you're going to have Keith and Roberts, McLaughlin and Critz, Hall and Lewis, Spainhour and Jamalin. So technically Spainhour should be on the inside with 3 to go. How's that one going to pan out here this evening as well, Kenton?
I'm actually really curious on how this ends up going, because I believe Williams and Rodney Roberts are both driving with those orange wheels, if I remember correctly. And for the most part, it's been Williams and DeWall that have been kind of working together. But now, obviously, with Williams being on that high line, won't be able to. Oh, no, Rodney Roberts doesn't have the orange tires, so he's not part of that team either. So this could get really interesting into kind of who gets a better help out of the people behind them. So I think it's going to be very different. But we'll see how this all plays out.
I do love that.
Quite excited.
Jedi Messiah is coming to YouTube chat. This league ring. So get yourself involved, so if you want to come and drive some NASCARs here as well. I'd be on track if I wasn't broadcasting. Don't forget, guys, to like the broadcast. That would be absolutely amazing. And drop us any comments down below. I do apologise for the liveries going on earlier on. That was my own fault, but I did have a crash on my PC that we did have to try and do between the brief break, between one finishing at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, sorry, and then one going again a few hours later. So hopefully we managed to get it sorted out there, and everybody's livery is showing, including Mr. Bainow's Copperhead livery. Now I appreciate, now I know what you were talking about earlier on when I was there as well. So let's see how this one goes. We're going to be on a GWC, and they've only got 3 of them here this evening, Kenton. Well, who's your money on?
Going with my Canadian. I gotta support the Canada.
Zachary DeWall.
Zachary DeWall.
Okay, well, if Williams and DeWall are on the same team here, they can lock this front row out.
100% they could. It's all going to kind of come down to what kind of jump DeWall is able to get. Like, if he's able to get a kind of a really big first jump, and Williams is able to kind of slot in behind him, they can basically just take off.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a very tough thing to do, because obviously you've got Joshua Keith right behind him, and he's been known to also have a fairly decent jump. He's not a super reactive driver. He's quite quick. So we'll see how this all ends up playing out. I think it's going to be a very exciting last couple laps here.
Well, stay tuned, guys, because they're going to be up and running for the final 3 here as well very, very shortly. It's 3 to go. It's going to be up now to DeWall and Williams. Geico restart zone. Here we go. Williams has, DeWall is already gone. Williams has not gone with him. DeWall's got a bit of a jump. Keeps missed the start a little bit here. That's going to release Williams in as well. Now it's Williams and DeWall running at that front, that bottom line. Need to get a little bit of a wriggle on if they're going to go and complete that as well. We're going to be coming along onto the final lap at the moment very, very shortly. And it's DeWall, Williams, Roberts, Keith, Hall, Lewis, Spainhour behind that one, as we've got these front 3 working together here. Bud drafting along, keeps coming. He's coming along here as well. Where's TJ in all of this mix? TJ sitting in there, currently in 9th place. Now that top line with Critz is losing a little bit of time here. The bottom line's making it up once more. As we're coming around now, we're going to be taking the white flag. I think it's going to be coming from any one of these guys as well. TJ makes a move further back. They're going, jiggling all over the place at the moment. Don't get caught out on that outside line if you don't need to, because there's no one there who will help you. You've got to try and pick a line here as well. On to the final lap. No no green, no yellow flags here. And now it's just a straight one from DeWall, Williams and Roberts going up this back straight here as well. Massive push. Oh, he's in the wall. Williams is in the wall. Oh, TJ's round. Everybody's round. The big one's on the final lap. DeWall's going to make it here as well for the Bash of the Beach. It is going to be Zachary DeWall. He's going to be in the mix with Keith. He's going to be in the mix there as well. Roberts is going to come through. It's going to be a run down to the line by Rodney Robertson there as well. DeWall, Roberts is on the outside line. DeWall throws the block. He's too late. It's going to be Roberts. It's going to be Keith. It's going to be Roberts. Oh!
DeWall dropped all the way down to third.
Oh! We've got to have a look at that big one. That was massive. That took out so many people. It was insane here. As it was Williams. Where are you, sir? It started off there with Williams and then it all just went a little bit wrong for everybody around that. That was huge incidents. So there we go. It's just after the white flag, unfortunately, there for some of these people that managed to miss that one. But boy, oh boy, was that insane here as well. It starts there. We'll go back a little bit. Nope, that's forward, James. Go back.
the other backwards.
I'm working on it. Who's the 81? I want to pick up on the 81.
It's McLaughlin.
That
was further up. This whole thing starts further up.
Yeah, I think it just gets a
because that was, I think Keith. Unfortunately, and this is not on Keith. This was. It looks like Williams got a little too much of a bump when he lifted. Unfortunately, it kind of left. Rodney Roberts there.
Yeah, you can see he gets the bump off the front, doesn't he? At the moment, right? That's where it is. But this is where it all
Williams
kicks off.
hits in hard to DeWall up north or up ahead, and that sends him as he kind of gets bumped out of position, and then he comes back up right into Rodney Roberts. He then clips the wall, and in his attempt to he manages to somehow stay out of trouble, but it looks like McLaughlin has to check up, and TJ's unfortunately can't see that, and that spins him around. But then Stockner gets connected with TJ and spins him. And then it's just calamity afterwards.
Distinct utter carnage.
Seth managed to slide through that pretty smoothly.
Who's that?
Seth managed to somehow get through that, actually, not terribly.
I wouldn't mind, but Seth ended up finishing in 9th place there. So let's see it on board from Mr. Pegg's angle. As he gets all you see.
He was sideways almost at one point.
Yeah. Here he goes. This is that real time for Seth. You can see the smoke. You can see the cars. Everybody's going. He's wiggling. Oh! How he manages to hold it. Yeah, he saved that one there as well. So a great job here. We've got people waiting in the interview room all ready for a chat, and I think we can start it off here with the man himself, Mr. Rodney Roberts, who took the victory. Let's go 1, 2, 3 as we bring in Mr. Roberts into the booth. He got a run at the end there as well. Rodney, welcome in, dear sir. How are you?
Doing pretty good. How are y'all?
Oh, mate, I'm very well. Very hairy final lap.
Yes, it was.
So tell us about it from your perspective there as well. It was a difficult one to try and decode up here in the booth, and we're trying to work it out what actually went on. Was there any insights that you can give us there as well? Because it was kind of you and Williams that kind of started it off.
Yeah, I went out, I bumped him out of 2 and just hooked him by accident. I guess that was my fault and everything, and I apologize to him about that. And I hate that's the way it happened. I didn't want it to happen that way, but
yeah, it definitely was. It definitely caused a basically it was like the big one on the final lap, to be fair there, buddy, as well. But it overall going forward, first win on the board, that's not a bad start. Yeah, we talk about the acrimonious ways it comes about. That's a conversation for another day, Rodney. What do you see for you though? First win of the season, big run over that last quarter of the lap here as well. Massive run.
yeah, it was. just trying to plan it up and see when I need to make the run. I saw us three broke out from the pack, and it was just trying to make the right time for the run. And I was trying to side draft the 95 and try to slow him back up for I can get in between them and try to get a run out of 4 and everything.
Yeah, well, you did an absolute stellar job there, buddy, as well. An amazing victory here for the first race of the season. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Oh, I want to shout out my team and everything else with Derek, and I had a friend choose this paint scheme for me and everything else. And I told him I was going to win the race for him in this paint scheme, and I did.
Yeah, you definitely did there, sir, as well. Well done, Rodney Roberts, your winner at Daytona for the opening round on the BSC. Congratulations.
Thank you. Hopefully I can be back here next week.
Hopefully you will, sir. Take care.
You too.
Right, next up is Joshua Keefe, the son-in-law of Tom, the brother-in-law of Justin and Joshua here as well, of Tom, Justin and Joshua Coon, but he is the son-in-law, Joshua Keefe. Josh, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. My hands are still shaking. That was a blast. That's exactly what we want in that kind of race.
Yeah, just missed it, dear sir. Just missed it.
Yeah, my best finish last year was at Pocono, top 5. I was just trying to stay as safe and just was as patient as possible. I think I might have had some room in turn 3 and 4 to get and in front of the number 9 car, but it wasn't worth it. Wreck somebody trying to fit in, and honestly, it probably would have played out the same way anyway. So I can't complain.
Yeah, well, there's been a few wrecks. We're 8 cautions. Unfortunately, my co-commentator Kenton was right on the right number of cautions there as well, but we won't give him too many credits for that one as well. What was it like out there on track? Because it seemed quite a busy thing for people.
Yeah, honestly, at the beginning of the race, I was just hanging out in the back, qualified poorly at the beginning of the race. And I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know if it was going to stay single file. Ended up splitting. I think it was maybe Witt on the outside line early in the race, leading the pack, and of course that's always going to be a fast line. So I try to stay out there, and the pace changed. I don't know if he was in an accident or what exactly happened, but then the lower line sped up a little bit, so I started hovering down there, and at the end of the race, it just turned out to be the lucky spot to be.
Yeah, and you were definitely so close to that as well. You avoid some of the carnage that was going on the final lap there, buddy. So well done to you on your second place. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Oh, absolutely. First and foremost, Team Dust Mites, putting us on the map out there. The rest of the crew, I had a lot of help from Josh in the middle of that pack before he was taken out. And of course, Armand, just for putting this stuff together and making it a great show.
Definitely on that one. Well, buddy, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing what you can do over the 3 seasons here and next week at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, next up here as well, I'm probably going to have to ask him how to pronounce his surname, as we've been saying DeWall all the way through. Let's hope it is that. Zachary, welcome in.
Hello.
Hello. Did I get it right?
It's DeWale.
Oh, well, don't watch the broadcast back there, buddy, because we got it wrong all the way through.
It's all good, man. I've gotten it all my life. I don't mind.
Okay, awesome stuff. Great race from you. You were running up near the front for a lot of that race. Managed to avoid the carnage of the 8 cautions behind you as well. First race into the series as well. How did you think it was going to go?
Honestly, I didn't really know what to expect coming in. I was pretty excited for Daytona. I've run pretty good here in other leagues and in officials, so I was pretty excited to hop in with the OWR guys, and I'm happy with how I ran. It was just man, wish I could have got it at the end.
Yeah, it was so close. So close. Roberts got such a run. It was just absolutely insane there. What did you think when it happened, though? Because obviously Williams come into contact with Roberts and they shot up. You tried to throw a block at Roberts. It didn't quite work. You didn't quite get out there quick enough. At that moment, he went past. Did you sit back and think, oh, it's done now. I've just got to try and kick this second?
Yeah, I mean, I knew once I saw Drew go around behind me, I saw the gap back to Robert, and not sure who the other guy in second was. Joshua, yeah. Once I saw the gap behind there, I kind of knew it was over. I had no help, and looked like they were kind of halfway working together, so I knew it was kind of over. I tried to do everything I could. I tried to throw the block didn't work. Tried to side draft him, and it's just the speed difference was too much to do anything. So yeah, once Drew was gone, I kind of knew it was over there.
Yeah, but it was definitely a good race there, buddy, as well. What's the ambitions for the season, Zach? What do we think? You know, we've got 3 seasons. Finish in the top 2 of each season. You go into the final playoff race after Phoenix. We're not quite sure whether it's going to be yet. What's the ambition for you to make that final, do you think?
I'm not sure. It's not very often I'll be able to run on Tuesday nights. Got like some other like life commitment stuff. But as often as I can run, I want to just come in and just try and win races, not thinking too much about the points side of things. Just gonna come in, try and compete and have fun.
Well, that's the best way to be there, sir, as well. Thanks so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll shout out to Emily and Jordan and Riley back home, and yeah, really that's about it. And the OWR guys, we had some really good teamwork there for the first bit of the race till a few of us got caught up. So it was a fun race.
Awesome stuff there, buddy. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's hope we can see you next week at Atlanta, I believe it is as well. It is Atlanta Motor Speedway. How'd you get on there? Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I miss old Atlanta. I miss the bumpy Atlanta. I like the throttle control and getting around the high line and as good as I feel like I tend to run here on like these super speedway tracks, not to toot my own horn. I prefer just being able to race on my own. But I mean, if I'm able to run, it should be a good one. It is a pretty fun track, all things considered.
Definitely there as well. Well, Zach, thanks so much for joining us there, buddy. And I promise you, we'll get your name right next week.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, Kenton. As you can see, the final board is coming along on the bottom of your screen. It is Roberts, Keith, the Whale taking the top 3 with Sizemore, Kern, and Kimmel. There, your top 6. Runge rounds out 7th. Jamalin in 8th and 9th. We've got Peg there who weed way through the chaos. Radel, who's been involved in his own fair share. Murphy up the highest gainers at one point, is up 13 places. Collicott, Burrell, McLaughlin there as well. Williams, who got put into the wall on the final lap of the race. Lewis, Carlson, Armquist. Spainauer all the way down in 19th place there as well. Great racing from all of these guys again. Not as big as a caution fest, but you were right. We did end up with 8.
Nailed it. All my skill went into that one, and I will never be able to predict another one for the rest of the year.
Oh, that sums it up. But what do we think going forward? If we can keep this grid of 35, right, we're in for an epic season.
Oh, especially once we start getting to some of those smaller tracks. I want to see this grid of 35 start rolling around Pocono and that fun triangle, or even Dover and Bristol, and I think that'll be pretty entertaining. It'll at least make the circuit of COTA. It'll make that a lot more interesting if we have 35 cars opposed to like 12. It'll definitely make for a much more interesting time around there. As much as I know you already love your road courses, but it'll make it a little bit better that way.
Yeah. Not an ideal. I don't like road circuits, but it is what it is, and hopefully we will get back great racing here once more. This is going to round out tonight's race, guys. Thank you so much to everybody that has joined us here as well, and it's been an interesting one for the Bash of the Beach once more. There's so many people in you that I can't name you all. I just want to say thank you. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the bells, because we've got more racing coming up on JPB as well over this week. There is no racing tomorrow, so have a happy Valentine's Day, ladies. I hope your man buys you everything you here as well. I'm sure it will be awesome. Get some dinner in, get a nice little date in. But I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Kenton Sportak one more time here as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and take care. Have a great week. And you never know. Back sometime. Good night.